Greetings everyone, in this video we're going to unbox the iPad Pro 13-inch M5 and the Apple Magic Keyboard. We opted to unbox both of these together because they seem to just complement each other very well. So we'll move the Magic Keyboard to the side for now and we'll focus on the iPad Pro. First thing you'll notice is the iPad Pro comes in two colors, silver and space black, and packaging has no shrink wrap plastic and is eco-friendly. The box looks similarly to the M4 iPad Pro that came out about a year ago. A little bit different on the back where the writing is a little bit lower. So there's two pull tabs, top and bottom, that are just slightly glued on. We'll remove both of those. Come off pretty easy. Put the box down and we'll open it up to reveal the iPad Pro 13-inch M5. Now this model also comes in an 11-inch version, which is similar, just smaller. And the wrapping here is kind of like a paper-like wrapper, eco-friendly. And it amazes me how thin this iPad is. It's very thin. And I want to say light for a 13-inch tablet. So we're going to open it up and reveal the space black, which looks really cool. Doesn't really show much fingerprints, similar to the, I would say, the MacBook Pro M4. And the iPad 13-inch M5 weight is 1.28 pounds, so it's pretty light for a 13-inch tablet. Has a really nice screen on there. On the bottom of the iPad Pro we have two speakers, 4 total on the iPad, and one Thunderbolt 4/USB-C. And on the right side we have the one microphone, 4 total on the iPad, a magnetic connector for the Apple Pencil Pro, and a volume up and down button. And on the top we have 2 speakers, 1 microphone, and 1 power button for sleep, wake, and Siri. And for wireless we have Wi-Fi 7 for this model, 5G cellular optional, and Bluetooth 6. And the iPad Pro M5 with the 256 gig or the 512 gig of storage models has a 9-core CPU with 3 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores, 10-core GPU, 16-core neural engine, and 12 gig of RAM versus the 8 gig in the M4. And for the models with a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte of storage, you have a 10-core CPU with 4 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores, 10-core GPU, 16-core neural engine, and 16 gig of RAM. So with the iPad Pro M5, Apple states that the AI and the GPU is 4 times faster at peak GPU compute for AI, neural accelerators in each GPU core, 3D rendering is 1.5 times faster with ray tracing, so it's a more powerful CPU than the M4 and higher unified memory bandwidth. And on the back we have 1 microphone, a 12 megapixel wide camera, LiDAR scanner, rear ambient light sensor, a flash, and a smart connector. So we'll place the iPad down for a moment and we'll take a look at what else is in the box. And we'll take a look at the instructions that come with this. And there's a tab at the top. We'll just pull out the instructions, iPad Pro. And usually these are just a quick little reference guide on getting started with Face ID, if you're going to use an Apple Pencil Pro, and where the dock is and stuff like that, and the camera on the back. So I'll set that aside. So in here we have the power adapter and the power adapter cable. So this is a 20 watt USB-C power adapter that comes with the iPad. And Apple states that the battery is good up to 10 hours of surfing the web on Wi-Fi or watching video, up to 9 hours of surfing the web using cellular data, and fast charge capable up to 50% charge in 35 minutes with a 60 watt power adapter or higher, and that's available separately. This iPad Pro comes with a color-matched USB-C charging cable. We'll see if there's anything else in the box, and no, there's no Apple stickers. So now we're going to turn on the screen and start the setup process, and we're going to see what the screen looks like and go over some of the specs. We'll just have it boot up here. We're at the iPad 26 Hello screen, and the display has a 13-inch diagonal widescreen, 2752 by 2064 pixel resolution. And the screen has a refresh rate of 120 Hertz. The brightness is 1000, and the pixels is 264. And we have a landscape 12 megapixel center stage camera with 1080p HD video recording at 25 frames per second, 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second. Okay, and on the setup, we're being prompted to set up with another device, so I'm going to grab my iPhone here, and then it says set up new iPad, continue, the Face ID for authentication, and now I'm just going to use my camera to scan this. There we go, it's getting things ready, and it's going to transfer over some of my settings, like my account stuff, and then it says set up for me, so I'm going to do that. Now I have to set a passcode, which is highly recommended, where it will encrypt your iPad in case it gets lost or stolen. You won't have to worry about it. We're just going to click through the data and privacy here. And then it's asking to set up Face ID, which I can do later, but I highly recommend that so you don't have to keep typing in your passcode. And now it wants to agree to the license, and it is configuring everything, including my iCloud settings. And it'd be cool if Apple did something here where you kind of like spun a wheel and you could get like a free 6 months of iCloud or something like that. That would be cool. So here it's asking me, how do I want to transfer all my apps and data? Well, I'm using iCloud, so I'm going to use iCloud Backup to restore everything, and then I'm going to choose my iPhone Pro 17 that I backed up a while ago. And so it's going to restore all those apps and data to this iPad, so it will look exactly the same. So here I could choose to configure things a little differently if I wanted to than my backup in iCloud, but I'm going with all the defaults. I'm going to set up Apple Pay later. And the Apple Intelligence, I'm going to enable all those features because I just want to see what's going on with Apple Intelligence these days, and I can always disable it if I don't like what it's doing, but I want to see what it's doing because I'm cutting edge like everybody that watches this channel. And I'm just going to keep going through here, and I'm going to choose full screen and windowed apps because that way I can have different apps running in different little windows on the iPad, which is cool. And so now it was restoring all my iCloud settings, and then it's doing another reboot. And after it reboots, things should look the same. And here we are at the primary screen again. I'm going to put in my passcode that I set up earlier. And restore is complete, it says. So I'm going to click continue, or press continue rather. And it wants me to set Face ID again. I'll just bypass that for now. And Apple Pay again, set up later. And this is cool with iOS or iPadOS 26 is it gives you a little tutorial here on what's new, and I kind of like to go through this. So here you can customize new looks for the app icons, which is kind of cool. Search feature is easier to access from within your apps. You can open multiple windows and resize and arrange them the way you want, which is kind of nice. It also has some menu items, kind of Mac OS like. And we're finally at the welcome screen. We're gonna select get started, and there we go. There's a really nice screen with all the icons, and we can hold it horizontally like we would in a case on a stand, or we can have it vertically here, and we can see the control center, and you can configure that. You can swipe it up and then the widgets that you can configure with all different things. And swiping down, we get the virtual keyboard that we can search with. Yep, let's get all the standard apps in there. And it has the dock on the bottom, so it's looking more and more Mac-like, the iPad OS. And we launched Safari. If you noticed how quick Safari launched on this, it's just incredible. And swipe up to go to the app switcher here. And we can swipe away the apps. I'm just getting used to how big this iPad is. So why don't we take a look at the camera on this iPad and see how good that is. We'll see what some of these options do. Take a picture. You can switch from photo to video. And it's interesting how big this display is, and you can go 24 frames, 30 frames, 60 frames per second, 4K video, or HD video. And yeah, it's just crazy how big this screen is. I see people on vacation with their iPads taking video, and if the video is good enough, the camera is good enough, you have a much bigger screen to view and edit your photos and videos on, which is nice. So you don't have to look at a smaller screen of an iPhone to do that. We have the camera light that we just tried. So yeah, pretty nice camera there. So we'll set this down now, and next we'll take a look at unboxing the Apple Magic Keyboard. So lo and behold, the Apple Magic Keyboard for iPad Pro 13-inch, M5, and the M4 comes in two colors, black or white. And we'll take a look around the box here. Pretty nondescript around the corners. The packaging has no shrink wrap, is eco-friendly. And we'll look at the back here. And Apple says it magnetically attaches the iPad to the case, and it's a floating cantilever design, smoothly adjusts to different angles. So to open the box, there are two pull strips, one on the top and bottom, slightly glued on, so we'll remove those. And we'll open the box to reveal the Apple Magic Keyboard. And it has like the paper wrapping similar to the iPad Pro. So we'll pull the tab here to remove the case from the box. And there you have it. All well protected in the packaging. We'll just look around and there's a little bit of cardboard packaging in the middle. And we'll pull this tab to open it up. And the Magic Keyboard case has a durable outer cover, slightly grippy, but smooth. And it also has an aluminum hinge, which is pretty cool, pretty sturdy. On one side it has a lightly visible embossed Apple logo, which is nice. And a cutout here for the camera. And when we open it up, we'll remove this cardboardish type material from the middle. And the Apple Magic Keyboard has a suede-like inside cover with smart connector. The keyboard powers directly from the iPad and has no internal battery that you'd have to charge or charge with a USB-C cable. And the Apple Magic Keyboard has an aluminum palm rest, has built-in larger glass trackpad with haptic feedback. The Apple Magic Keyboard has a backlit keys and a scissor mechanism with 1mm travel for quiet responsive typing, 14 key function row for quick access to screen brightness, volume controls, and other features. So this case definitely has a high quality feel, although it seems kind of lighter weight, but being aluminum definitely seems like a higher quality build, as you'd expect from an Apple product. But it seems like it goes pretty well with an iPad Pro in my estimation. And if I were to say so, this is more like a pro level case. Apple Magic Keyboard has an aluminum hinge with a USB-C for pass-through of charging of the iPad. So we'll place the iPad on the case with the magnetic connection here. And just line it up with a camera on the back that goes through the space. And there you have it. And now the keyboard is lit up and the trackpad's working, as it instantly works with the smart connector connection. And we're just going to put it through some paces to see how this keyboard and trackpad work with some of the swiping and such. And it's really nice. It's almost like using, I would say, a MacBook Air with a touchscreen. It's almost getting to be that level of technology to me. And here you see the side where you'd be typing, and where the angle is, where you can angle things at different levels of the hinge there. And you can just fold it up and take it with you. Very nice. So it has protection, but around the corners and the edges, there's not really a lot of protection there. It sticks out a little bit, but that's my only gripe with this case, is that it would be nice if it had better protection on the sides, but then the way this case works, where you can just pull it off magnetically, it doesn't work. It's not going to have that kind of protection around the sides. So the Apple Magic Keyboard case weight is about 1.47 or 1.48 pounds. And when you combine that with the 13-inch M5 iPad Pro, total weight is about 2.7 pounds, which is comparable to a 13-inch MacBook Air. And you have space up top for your Apple Pencil Pro to magnetically connect on the top and charge. And it's pretty easy to open this case and to angle it the way you like. And that is the iPad Pro 13-inch M5 unboxing and Apple Magic Keyboard. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.